Hey, so where are you guys exactly?
Downstairs. Killjoy wanted to give me a quick preparing for the worst seminar.
Oh, you worrywarts. Do you want me to be there?
No, we're fine. Why don't you find something to do?
Oh, I can do that. Have fun. Hey, howdy hey, and welcome back to Emily's Adventures in Horrorland. So how are you doing today? You look fan-schmabulous. Did you lose hair? I mean weight? So, I've had a rather brilliant idea. Why don't I tell you about a new film that Emily went to see the other week? It sure is fun having remote access to all her memories, let me tell you. And if I do this review, it will prove to the world that I am more than just a pretty face and a quick shot of positivity. Now, Emily's been curious about seeing Get Out ever since she missed seeing Split at her local Odeon. So off she went with her regular Coke for £4 and settled into her seat, not knowing what to expect. Some of you out there might have seen the trailer, but if you haven't, I'd actually recommend not. It gives a fair amount of the film away, and the best way to experience Get Out is to go in completely blind. Don't make me come over there and poke out those beautiful peepers of yours, I'll do it. My review will contain spoilers, but you keep an ear out for the Dragnet theme and we'll all be good. Okay, so our main character for this film is Chris Washington, played by British actor Daniel Kaluuya. You might recognise him from the film Chat Room, which is another of my favourites. Yes, delicious movie. Anyway, Chris is a photographer and the boyfriend of Rose Armitage, whose parents they are about to stay the weekend with. You know, if Killjoy were here right now, she'd probably tell me off for my sloppy grammar. Chris is nervous about meeting the parents because, hey, it's an interracial relationship and according to Rose, the first one she's been in. How are the parents going to take it? The issue of race is of course integral to the plot of this film. It is all about race. And I don't just mean running, although there is some running in later scenes, yes. On the way there, something glances off the windshield, and tensions rise as this police officer asks to see Chris's ID even though he wasn't driving. Rose stands up for him, of course, and they go on their merry way. Remember this officer because we will never see him again. Goodbye. The deer anecdote helps to break the ice up at the Armitage place, as the dad absolutely despises the things. Fuck bucks, am I right? Am I right? Going in blind, it is hard to know what to expect. Is there a supernatural element? Are we going to see mutant woodland creatures running around? But honestly, the first time I felt nervous watching it was when the family servants, Walter and Georgina, were introduced. They seemed just a little bit too happy to be there. Nothing is wrong, and I mean nothing. There is a creepy vibe going on in this film, a familiarly creepy vibe. It does have its horror influences, and I want to see if you can guess what they are before we get to spoiler time. I'll give you a cookie if you get it right. The close relations seem to be comprised of nice middle-class white adults. They like Obama. Walter and Georgina are treated as part of the family. Same thing with the rest of the Armitage clan who turn up. They have the odd friend who's black, ergo not racist, right? You probably know people like this. What I found interesting about this film is that it dealt with positive stereotypes about black people as well. It's reflected in the actions of the family, who talk to Chris about the physical, superior strength of African Americans. Not comfortable topics of conversation for him, even if they mean well. Could be worse, you say? Well, here come minor spoilers. Dun, dun, dun. The creepy vibe that exudes from the only other black people at this family gathering is something that perturbs Chris. Especially after the mother, Missy, hypnotizes him during the night under the guise of helping him to kick his smoking habit. Chris begins to suspect that Walter, Georgina, and this guy, Logan King, might have been hypnotized as well. But these are such nice people, right? Well, here's the thing. It isn't the family who tell Chris to get out. Logan screams it into his face the moment he's temporarily unhypnotized. Something horrible is going on here, and I love it. Honestly, it feels great to be this excited by modern horror cinema because... Well, Killjoy explains it better. Give me a second.
Hello? Oh. Well, in my experience, modern horror films have a tendency to lean on jump scares, routinely follow the same tropes, and have scores of unlikable characters.
Thank you very much. Miserable sod, but not so with this film. The main character Chris is very easy to engage with, and the plot does not depend on jump scaring the audience because it's more of a social horror. Moreover, the story keeps you guessing, and even at its most ridiculous extremes does not feel contrived, which brings me on to major spoilers. Dun, 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 dun. If you're a clever duck, you should have realised what this film A. was inspired by and B. reminded me of. The Stepford Wives. You should also have twigged that Walt, George and Logue actually were hypnotised by Missy. That's step 1 in the you're screwed induction into the family. Step 2 is finding out that your girlfriend was in on this the whole time, being strapped to a chair and being given the bad news, and step 3 is literally giving up your body to the highest bidder. And not in the sex slave sense, as the film's comic relief will assert. The process involves having just enough brain matter scooped out and replaced to make you a helpless vehicle for your new master's own desires. Come to think of it, didn't Carl Pilkington have this idea for a film once?
So what they do then, they're going to take half his brain...
Half of his brain, take out half of hers, pop it in place.
But it's cool, because this film allows for easy suspension of disbelief. Get Out is blooming excellent at communicating the most horrific ideas through mere facial expression. We eventually learn that Georgina is now almost completely possessed by the mind of Rose's grandmother, but now and again you can just about see the person inside. That is creepy as all hell, and credit to the actress. And you know who else? Rose, once we find out the truth about her. There's a scene where she's sitting on the bed, taking her Fruit Loop cereal pieces one by one, taking her milk sip by sip, and that is somehow extraordinarily terrifying. I think there must be something about people with affectations in their eating style. I've seen it done in Inglourious Bastards with Hans Landa. He sure loves his dairy. And who could forget the Dutch businessman from Hostel? I take my hat off to these actresses. They did a superb job. And you know who else? Chris's friend, the TSA agent, even if the police don't take him seriously. And that's what we need to see in modern horror. A security agency that can be trusted and relied upon, yes, but on an individual level, someone on the side of good who has the willingness and capability to fight evil. Basically, what I've been saying all this time is that Get Out is a rip-roaring good film as well as being bitingly satirical. It's most terrifying when you're not quite sure what's going on, and my blood ran cold when Chris was finally left alone to think about his fate. Hell is other people, as they say, and knowing what they'd do if they could get away with it. For all those reasons, I give this film 8 jam sandwiches out of 10. Well, that wraps up this review. Thank you very much for watching it, and be sure to leave some spoiler-free comments below, and let Emily know what a great job I did. I'm sure she already regrets not inviting me onto all those live streams lately. Oh, but I can't stay mad at her. Well, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio! I take my hat off. Whoops.